Hello, my friend, and welcome to a very special TFU News and Views. I am your host, Anthony Brucali, owner, operator, madman behind TFU.INFO, the website, the podcast, the YouTube channel, and more. And today, just want to talk to you really quick about something special that Hasbro invited me to and a number of other Transformers websites to. And this was back during New York Comic Con, the day of, before the panel they had where they showed off the bit of Omega Supreme, and after the few minutes we had with them where they were showing off new stuff from the Bumblebee movie and Transformers Cyberverse. Hasbro invited us to a hotel room in New York that's not as dirty as it sounds, trust me, to do a very special unboxing of War for Cybertron Seige Wave 1. And with the toys now hitting shelves, we were actually supposed to sit on this until December 1st, but with many places having the figures, they've been gracious enough to allow us to post this a bit sooner. So as of right now, you should be seeing a slew of reports about this. So I'd say go check them all. Enjoy them, because we all had different impressions of it. So check out BWTF Ben from Ben's World of Transformers. Check out Diecast 2 from Radio Free Cybertron. Check out the Lucas Brothers from Unicron.com and many more who were there. The folks at TFWiki.net were there. The folks from TFW 2005 were there, and Cybertron as well. Let's talk a little bit about what I got to see with this line. And this is a very special video edition if you are listening on the podcast feed. So swing by the YouTube channel, youtube.com/TFU.INFO. Subscribe, because there are a ton of videos going up alongside of this. All of my photos and all of the video I've shot. But this event was a way to show us what the line was. And we got to open a wave of Battle Masters, a wave of Micromasters, a wave of Deluxe figures, and a wave of Voyager figures around the table. And first impression of this line for me is that it is fun. Oh my goodness, is it fun. There is a building play pattern here, very reminiscent of Armada and Armada Minicons. The Micromasters, the Battle Masters, they add a lot of play value as well. Not only do they turn into their own robots, they do turn into weapons for the larger figures to hold, and it really allows you to armor up some of your figures, as we did here with this Hound. Shout out again to Ben from BWTF, because he really took it to this Hound figure and hooked it up with weapon upon weapon upon weapon. The blast effects that come with some of the smaller figures have many places and placements. So there are swipe effects, and there are explosion effects, and there are gunshot effects, and they fit on these little pegs, such as the hands on this Micromaster Stormclap. It's a smaller peg. I don't know the exact size, but it's certainly smaller than 5 millimeters. It's probably 1 millimeter or 2 millimeter. And those are located on the bodies of a lot of these figures, so they allow you to tack on these effects. And I haven't had a chance to compare those to the ones from previous lines, such as the Prime Wars trilogy, but they may be similar to the pegs that the Titan Masters stand on, so that would allow you to then integrate these effects into some of your older toys as well. One of the big improvements on this line is something so simple as the instructions. The instructions are printed on white backgrounds, so they are still the dark color bordered, but they have the white background, so you can actually see what the instructions are telling you. This is for both the Autobots and Decepticons, so everyone, let's have a big cheer for the instructions being improved. And there's some other neat things in these packaging designs. There are hidden characters on some of the box artwork. You can find Wheeljack hiding in one of the images with kind of a hint as to what he will look like. The instructions also contain weapons descriptions and power rankings for each figure's accessories and weapons. And new to the line, the backing cards for, say, the Micromasters and even the deluxe figures, there is an icon behind them. Now, these icons are a ranking icon. Now, there hasn't been a key released yet as to what these icons mean specifically, but each one ties back to the character that is in front of it. So, for example, now I'm just making these up. So, say with, Hound, his function is what? Tracker, right? So, if his function might be tracker, his rank might be, sergeant hound, right? I'm making this all up right now. This symbol here is the one that's behind him and might denote that he is a sergeant. So it's kind of neat that they're doing this. Don't know what those mean just yet, but hopefully they will release a card just like they did with the Cybertronian language. Now, onto the individual sizes, and I'm going to go through these fairly quickly because you've heard them a lot in podcasts such as mine, TFU News and Views, and there's not a lot more new to be said. The Battle Masters we got to open were Lionizer, Blowpipe, and Fire Drive. And these are essentially what their names reflect. These are either pretty much target masters for previous figures in the Generations line, or something akin to Action Master partners, such as Lionizer, whose name comes from an Action Master partner. The Micromasters are sold in 2 packs, and they can also combine into weapons, and they use the blast effects just like the Battle Masters do. At the deluxe level, we have everyone's favorite so far coming out the gate of these announcements is Skytread, and Skytread does not have individual robot modes, but he does combine into the combined robot mode with a great likeness to Flywheels from G1, which is the character he is representing. There are lots of 5mm and blast effect ports on these figures. I've noticed Hound was a bit tricky to get into vehicle mode, but once you got him there, he is a pretty solid looking toy. And Cog is a lot of fun. He breaks apart into many pieces and can be armored on to the other characters. Also, there was Sideswipe, who I liked a lot more in person. So much so that I found an advanced version of this figure, and it was the first one I bought. And if you keep an eye on this channel, there will be a review of Sideswipe up in the near future. At the Voyage level, we have Optimus and Megatron, who I didn't get to really play around with much because there weren't that many of them to go around the table. There was also only one Sideswipe, so if you see a lack of Sideswipe or Optimus and Megatron, it's because there were a lot more people than toys for those. I think they're great likenesses. They're a bit complex without the instructions. I tried transforming Optimus, but with such limited time to get all these figures photographed and videoed, transforming them, especially a complex figure like these two, was not necessarily something I had time to iron out. But they were pretty cool looking. I really like how both of them look in robot mode. And I'm surprised with how happy with them I were, given how exhausted the fandom is with these two characters. But they're definitely nice and definitely worth picking up. Now, just one last thing. Keep in mind, this was all before the Decepticon reveals that came that afternoon. So we did not get a chance to play with Reflector or Starscream or Soundwave. Anything that was revealed that afternoon of New York Comic Con was not there for us. These were the actual consumer product. This unboxing went a long way towards selling me on this line. I went in here not impressed with the line, and I walked out very impressed with the line, realizing how fun these toys are with the combining of the armor and the weapons and the smaller characters. It really does go a long way. So when these toys do hit in your area, pick them up, and pick them up at different size classes, because that is the way to have the most fun with these. It's a little gimmicky, I know. It's not just a cool action figure, cool vehicle, and a cool transformation, which they do have. None of them seem too crazy or out there, except for maybe the Voyagers, and even then, that was more because I didn't have time to get to play around with them. But definitely pick up more than one size class if you're gonna check out this line, because I think it really does improve. Or if you're gonna stick with just the deluxe size class, grab Cog and grab one of the other characters and see how he integrates with them, because it's a lot of fun. So that just about does it for this special edition of TFU News and Views. If you're listening on iTunes or Google Play or anywhere you listen to podcasts, please swing on by the YouTube channel, youtube.com/TFU.INFO, for a video version of this, plus all of my photos and videos from that morning in New York City. If you're watching on YouTube, please make sure you like and subscribe to the channel, and I appreciate everyone who does that for me. And that is TFU News and Views. I am your host, Anthony Brucali. New episode of Transformers University drops on Monday, so please check it out. Until next time, see you.